what this is actually called is there's a Python package and it's called the Spearman rank correlation. So we can Google this, Spearman R, and there we go. So in scipy.stats, we've got this Spearman R. So what we can do is basically calculate the rank correlation between two things. And so let's just do this. So we import this from scipy.stats, import Spearman R. And then what we can do is we can do Spearman R XXYY. Wait. So this should give us, yeah. So the statistic is basically 1.0, meaning it's perfect correlation. So obviously we could introduce a little bit of jitter into this as well. We could do something like XX plus np.random.ran n length XX. Yeah, if we want to do this. I got the brackets. So you see now it's not a perfect correlation anymore. And then we obviously need to do this beforehand, because if we don't, then we still calculate the same Spearman R. So we do it here. And then if we plot XXYY, obviously it's going to be pretty bad. So we want to just do just a plot like this, right? And then you can't really see the correlation so well anymore. So we take this randomness back out again here, because we still see, so it's quite a lot of randomness. But then we can run Spearman R, and we've got NaN, so it doesn't actually like this. Is probably a little bit too extreme, so we might have to reduce this a little bit, 0.05. Here we go. And there we go. Now you see the statistic is 0.9987, right? And the p-value is extremely small, so it tells us we have a very high certainty that this is true. And of course, we can maybe increase that a little bit and see whether we can lower our confidence a little. So you see here, now we've got this relationship. We've got this, which looks pretty linear still. And then if we calculate Spearman, it's none again. Man, that's interesting. Maybe because we've actually got some bad values in there. I have a suspicion. The problem is because what we're doing here is we're actually calculating a square root, right? But the problem is when we introduce the random, we actually might get some negative values. And then if we get square root of negative values, that's not a good idea. If we do this, of course, then we will get a very high R value again. Now here we obviously need to jack up our variance a little bit. And there we go. Maybe make it even a lot larger, 17. But the problem is here, it actually doesn't start at 0 again, because we've got all these values. So let's just start at 10. XXYY. So, and we're starting at 17. So we need to really go a lot higher. So let's just go 30. And then go 50. There we go. We're still at -20. My goodness. 100 and 150. So that should hopefully work. There you go. So now we've got this. And again, we've got these straight lines here in the rank correlation with some really brutal outliers. But nevertheless, see, the correlation is really extremely good, because obviously the variance here is not very big. Yeah, so that's basically how we can get nonlinear relationships and reduce them to linear relationships. And this is really important because quite often in finance, we don't necessarily know what the nonlinear relationship is. But if it's somehow monotonous, so it increases steadily and there is only one value or one y for one x, so there's not two values, then we can often reduce it to something that is linear. And that's what's pretty amazing here. So obviously we had a few hiccups because we were using the square root. And then when we introduce random numbers, it then creates negative numbers and then it can't create the square root. So it can't actually calculate the correlation because it's just got bad values in it. But that's effectively what we can do here.